Jono Naylor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and it's a great pleasure to rise and take a call in this general debate and to reflect, I guess, upon what's been almost 12 months now of being in this Parliament. And I thought, over the year I would have heard most things by now, but no, this afternoon what we got was a lecture from the Honourable Winston Peters, Right Honourable Winston Peters, on humility. I thought I'd seen it all, but once I heard that I realised perhaps there could be something new. I thought it was kind of ironic, actually, that he talked about that the National Party's had a 36% turnover in MP since 2008, which I guess means that only 64% of our MPs were here in 2008. Ironic when you consider that in the New Zealand First Caucus, there's 100% of the MPs weren't here in 2008. But, Mr Speaker, I want to reflect a little bit over the last 11 or 12 months as to how things have been going. And one of the things that's really perplexed me as I've been sitting in this House and in the debating chamber and listening to things that have gone on as to why it is the opposition is so down on New Zealand. Why it is that they're always talking about how bad things are. And I know it is the job of the opposition to challenge the government and to sort of pick holes in the things that we're doing, or find holes if they can. But they're just so down on it. Such a lack of belief in New Zealand, such a lack of aspiration for the people of New Zealand and the good things that we can achieve. It's a little bit like the story of Chicken Little, where the acorn falls down and lands on Chicken Little's head, and Chicken Little's head, and the acorn falls, and then what happens? The sky is falling. It's the end of the world. Every time something happens that doesn't quite go the way that Chicken Little wants it, the sky is falling. It's a crisis. Everything's turned to custard and everything is in complete disarray. Well, Mr Speaker, we're living in a country that's a little bit more resilient than that. We've got a government that's committed to the resiliency of New Zealand, committed and aspirational for New Zealand. Now, I was at a function recently and someone said to me, what would happen to the National Party if John Key was hit by a bus? And I thought it was a really interesting question for them to ask. I couldn't figure out why they would ask that, but then I thought, well, actually, they're obviously been watching the Labour Party when they've seen so many leaders thrown under the bus over the last few years. That might have led to the question. But the question was, would the National Party survive without John Key as our leader? Now, he is a great leader. We've all said that, we all acknowledge that, and it's great. But, you know, the strength of this party is that should there be an unfortunate event and we had to pick a new leader, we've got plenty of people to choose from. And what we've got is a caucus who is more than happy to get behind whoever is the leader of this party and get behind it. Whereas what I see on the other side of the House is people sharpening their knives, getting ready to throw the next leader under the bus. It's called question time, Mr Speaker, and they keep putting up Mr Little and throw him under the bus, John Key's bus, every day. It's a little bit like watching a train wreck happen, but it keeps happening every day. But, Mr Speaker, we're working towards a plan. We're working towards a plan that is good for New Zealand. We're working on we're revising the way we do our social services in New Zealand. We're taking an investment approach because we believe that we can deliver better lives for people. We're taking an investment approach to social housing. Mr Hipkins said we're not interested in education or otherwise, but you know what? We're seeing rising levels of educational achievement under this national government. We're seeing greater participation in early childhood education under this government. That's what's happening because we're doing better things for New Zealanders and we're seeing them succeed even more. Now, at the moment, all we hear about from the other side of the fence is it's doom and gloom because the acorn fell when the dairy prices went down. And we understand that that's not a good thing. But what we hear over there is the sky is falling. It's the end of the world. And I heard a commentator say the other day, all Fonterra does is take the water out of milk, put it into 20-kilo bags and ship it overseas. Well, Paul Foster-Bell and I visited the Fonterra Research and Development Centre the other day. Exciting to hear the plans that that company has for adding more value to our products to send them overseas. These things are happening right across our economy, right throughout our regions. And again, fantastic the other day to see the diversity of what is happening. We're seeing new people with new ideas. We're seeing companies like Altus UA with their drones already to export to the United States. We are not a one-track economy. We're a diverse economy. We've got sound leadership and we're taking things forward for the people of New Zealand.
Porter Williams.
Thank you.